Hey guys. Hey everybody. So it has been a while since we've been together. Welcome, 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 and a happy, blessed Tuesday evening. Happy Tuesday, guys, or whatever day it is that you are watching this, because you know what's so strange and so crazy and so wonderful is that, like Apostle Dietrich says, scary, wonderful is that I have connected with so many people in the UK as of the last month, and not only connected but have them join me as clients, and that is incredible. So I just am in awe of God and the power of the internet. So welcome tonight, guys. So we're not going to be on, I'm not going to be before you long. I really won't be before you long because I have class. So you may not know this, but I'm taking Bible courses. So I will be the esteemed Right Reverend Doctor. No, I'm just kidding. It's an associate's, and I'm super excited about it. But right now, I'm taking classes through Kairos International University, that is spearheaded by our beloved Chancellor, Apostle Dietrich Gaskins. So if you're not familiar with Kairos, I would love to share them with you. But I'm taking a class, so my class starts at 7. That said, what I want to do tonight is I want to share with you 5 ways that you can craft course content that resonates with your audience's needs. So 5 ways that you can craft content that resonates with your audience and what they need, because it's really important that we tap into their psyche, and figure out what it is that they need, that buying psychology, in a way that allows us to know, one, can we meet the need, and two, allows them to know that we can meet the need, and it creates that attraction. So tonight, that's what I want to talk about. But let's have a quick word of prayer. If you're joining me tonight, one, I just want to say thank you for being here with me. Thank you to those of you that are watching. But I want to know who's here with me. So definitely share in the comments, because I want to be able to, have this be interactive, and I don't just want to be a talking head. So please, interact with me. Basically share questions. You can ask me questions throughout. I'm an open book. I'm happy to share as long as it's not anything proprietary. And I love to help. So that, hey Mo, oh my gosh, hey Shadana, so glad to see you. So I get to see you twice in one day. So tell me who's here, where are you from? Are you a coach? Are you a speaker? Are you a fellow published author? Are you an executive or former executive? Are you a fellow veteran? Do you have expertise that you want to turn into a course? Yes or no? So let me know. Please know that I'm very excited to be here with you. And I'll do an introduction of myself here in just a moment. But I want to share that I am just honored that you're here with me. So who am I? Let me back up just a little bit and just share that my name is Dr. Patrice Carter, and I am the owner, and president of Breakpoint Coaching Collective, LLC, in partnership with the love of my life, Dalton Carter. And through our company, Breakpoint Coaching Collective, we certify and train Christian life coaches. And I also am a digital course creation mentor, of done with you and done for you course creation services for coaches, speakers, authors, any woman-owned service-based entrepreneur who wants to package her expertise into a digital course and or school. I'm your girl. Also, many of you may not know this because I have a lot of new people on my page, but I am a published author. My book is called Superb Woman: From Bad Girl to God's Girl. And my story, my testimony is that I am a survivor of domestic violence. I'm a suicide survivor, and I would not master holiness when I was single 15 plus years ago. So the Lord helped me out by afflicting me with an STD that you do not get healed from, but He healed me. So I am a miracle, and I know how to take women from where they are to where God has called them to be. So that is what my book is on. It's framed around the Proverbs 31 woman, as well as my testimony. So I share all that to share that I'm also currently hosting an 8-week group coaching program for women who want to heal. And when I was going through that and sort of operating in that space of being, just a mess, I was in the church. I was serving my pastor. I was an armor bearer. I was called. God had called me as a prophet. I was an entrepreneur. So I say all that to say that we can mask up, but we can't hide what's really going on. And so I want to help you heal. All right. So enough about that. Let's get to the topic at hand. So that said, what you want to do, you always want to come, if you're coming on live with me, you want to have your pen and paper. So go grab your pen and paper. I'll give you a chance to do that. You want to ask lots of questions because I have lots of answers. And if I don't know, I will find out and I will let you know in a future live, or we can connect offline. And then also I want you to plan to schedule a follow-up discovery call with me. If there's something that comes up during our time together, during our chat, that you want to ask further questions about, I do offer a complimentary discovery call with any and everyone. It's 15 minutes, and you can schedule that through my website, and that is here in the comments. So my website is www.drpatricecarter.com. And also through that website, you can join my newsletter. You can download a free digital course planning guide. So there's lots of good stuff. It pays to connect, not just with me, but others. And it's super fun. So I'm going to put that link down there and then we're going to get started. Okay, so here's the link. So tonight, again, what I want to talk about is if you are a digital course creator or you want to be a digital course creator, one thing that's super important is that you begin to think about and you begin to craft content that resonates with your audience's needs. And so tonight I want to share what that looks like and how you do that. And it's essential for engagement, it's essential for success. And so tonight I'm just going to share 5 ways that you can do that. There are way more than 5 ways, but I felt like these are some of the top 5 ways that you can begin to know how to position your content, how to position yourself in a way, again, towards buying psychology. So with that, the first thing that you want to do is you want to conduct in-depth audience research. How do you do that? How do you conduct in-depth audience research? I remember working with my coach. Shout out to Coach Jalen Jones. Love her. She is a phenomenal coach. And one of the things that she had us to do was, I won't give it away because it's her secret sauce, but we had to really do a deep dive into figuring out our client and our ideal client. And so to do that, some of the ways that you want to do that is you need to, one, understand who is your demographic. So you want to understand their demographic. What do they do for a living? Where do they live? How much money do they make? Do they have children? Are they retired? What are their likes and dislikes? What are their interests? What causes them pain? What are their pain points? What are their problems? What keeps them up at night? And the ways that you can do this are surveys, polls, and any type of analytical tools that you can use to gather that quantitative and that qualitative data. And so another way is to just, the easiest way I feel is just to ask your audience. So what I did, just to give you just a pro tip, is I identified probably about 8 women, 5 to 8 women that I really, really love and that I really want to work with. They're like my dream clients. And I messaged them, I DM'd them, but I already had a warm connection to them. So I didn't just DM cold calls or cold people, because there's a nuance to that. And I'm going to talk about that in a different live. But I reached out to people that I had a warm connection with. And I shared with them that, hey, I am moving into this space of mentoring, of doing signature mentoring, done with you and done for you services, and you actually represent my ideal client. And so as opposed to me trying to assume what my client wants and needs, I reached out to them and said, can I meet with you? Can I have an hour of your time? Can I buy you a virtual coffee to just spend some time just asking questions and just getting to know you in such a way as to help me to meet your needs? And each one of them said yes. So that said, I had already a question set, everything I was going to ask, and I spent that hour asking those questions, gathering that information, which was crucial. And I also made sure that I gave something back. So when I was talking with them, I poured into them out of the depth of my knowledge. So when they would come or share during that conversation a challenge or a problem or et cetera, I would speak into their life. So you always want to come from a place of service as well. So it's not just about what you can get, but what you can give. And so there should be some reciprocity. That said, there's a scripture, and it's sometimes misquoted, and I've only just come to the revelation of it myself, but it says, a man's gift will make room for him, and place him before great men and women, before kings and queens. I'm paraphrasing. But that scripture, it actually does have to do with, if you take it into context of like your gifts that you possess, but it actually has to do with Esau and his brother and Jacob. And so Jacob wanted to be reconciled, or God made it where Jacob could be reconciled to Esau, and he had stolen his brother's birthright. He had manipulated him out of it because he was a trickster. And so when it was time for him to be reconciled, and he knew that the day was coming where he was going to be running into Esau, meeting Esau, he became afraid because he knew that he had wronged him. And his brother Esau was a warrior. He was a hunter, and he was burly. He was big. He was about it. He was about that life. And so Jacob didn't know what he was going to do. And I hope I'm not saying the brother's wrong, but in any case, I'll make sure I add in the comments the correct biblical reference. So that said, in preparation for going out to meet Esau, he sent gifts ahead of himself. He sent cattle, he sent food, he sent all kinds of things in advance because he wanted to, one, see if his brother would receive his gifts. Two, he wanted to soften his heart, and he wanted to let him know that he was not coming as an enemy or coming to take anything. He was coming to reconcile. And so by the time he ends up catching up to and getting up to his brother, and they end up meeting, his brother just broke down in tears and was so happy to be reconciled to him, and so just overdone. And he told him, keep your gifts. Like, I'm just so grateful that we're together. And so his heart was filled with love. But that is where that scripture comes from, that your gift will make room for you. So I say all that to say, be willing to give something also in reception, if that makes sense. All right, so still talking about the 5 ways that you can craft course content that resonates with your audience needs and gets you in the door and gets you vibing with your perfect client. And that first thing, again, is to conduct in-depth audience research. So the last thing I want to share here is you want to identify common challenges. What are challenges that are common to everyone? I feel like this is a common challenge, not really knowing what your client wants. And so you want to go to them. Now, let's say you don't have any clients that you can tap into, because that was my initial experience. I was like, and then I was sitting there scratching my head, like, how do I know what my clients, I know what I want, but I don't want to assume it. I want to prove it, social proof it. So the other thing you can do is reach out to those chicken clients, like my sister, Pastor Garlinda, Dr. Garlinda Price says, is you want to reach out to those people that you're just terrified of, but you really want to work with. And you want to have the same conversation. Hey, I'm doing this, and this, and I wonder if I could just have a few minutes of your time. And I believe that most people will say yes. And so you identify common challenges. Also, what are their goals? What are their hopes? What are their dreams? What are their desires? And you want to tailor your content accordingly. Now, you want to tailor it accordingly, according to your ability, according to your passion, according to your expertise. We're not trying to make something up. This is something that's authentic to you, that you feel you could bless them with, that you would serve them well, and vice versa. All right. The next thing you want to do is to create a persona profile. So one thing I already done years ago, so when I started putting this together, is I identified 3 personas. And what that looks like is you want to create 3 profiles that represent your audience, your ideal client. So I had 3 people. I had Garlinda, I had Michelle, and I can't remember my third persona's name. And I wrote out their factors, such as their age, their background, their preferences, their learning styles, their buying style, that type of thing. And I also polled them because they were based on real people that would be my ideal client. And so that is helpful also in the sense of, now when I go out to network, I know who I'm looking for. I know who I want to connect with. I know who I want to serve, and I'm passionate about it. And so I have a clear, concrete view of who I'm looking for and what I want to do. And so that is the purpose of this, because if you don't get clear, then you're kind of just shooting in the dark. And if you craft a course that is a shoot in the dark or a shot in the dark, it may not be as successful because it's not clear to your buying audience what it is that you're offering them, and they're not clear on how you can solve their issue. All right, so from there, again, you want to craft content that speaks directly to that persona, addressing their specific needs and their aspirations. So tell me, if you're here tonight, are you thinking about drafting a course? Are you thinking about packaging your expertise into a course? And if so, who is your course for? Do you know who your buying audience is? Do you know who your persona is, your persons? Let me know in the comments. Also, you want to listen and engage actively. So, the way that you do that, of course, is to establish channels of communication. That can be through direct communication, through networking, through sales calls, through DMs, through emails, through warm introductions, through forums, etc. And so, here's an example. When I was first starting out as a Christian life coach and looking for clients, one of the things I did was I looked for um tells. So a tell, tells. So that might be someone who that was in my Facebook sphere of influence that was going through something. And people like to post, or people often post sometimes about how they're feeling or what they're experiencing. And so I would use that as an opportunity to reach out and say, hey, I'm sorry that you're going through that right now, and I don't know if you know, but I do work and offer and serve as a Christian life coach. And if you're open to it, I would love for us to have a discovery call to see if I might be able to serve you in this season. And so I always approach it from a standpoint of service and how I might support. Yes, it's a paid service, but I don't see them as a commodity or as a dollar sign. I really want to meet them in the place of service, and I'm going to give way more than anybody will ever pay me. So if you come from a place of service, I think that genuineness translates. Okay, so just moving on. Let's see. Shadana says, yes, absolutely. I'm not sure who my people are because I'm all over the place with everyone. Well, I think that that's something that we could definitely flesh out or work together on honing. But I love a lot of the things that you shared today, Shadana, when you were introducing yourself, and you talked about the fact that you said Mo knows everyone. And so one of the things that you could teach people is, how do I know everyone? How do I have that? How do I craft that ability to know everyone, to be known, and to know people and to make connections? Also, one of the things that you shared is that you love all things PR. And so, guys, you might not know, but Shadana is a boss. So she was recently on Media Row at the Super Bowl, and she's heading to Las Vegas, which is so incredible. And so there are people that want to know, how do I do that? And so what you find yourself doing oftentimes is probably having a lot of one-to-one conversations, where if you have a course, you can begin to teach this in sort of a mastermind type of setup. So that's what comes up for me. And so when you think about a course, and this is another live that I'm going to do, a course is not just a course, because many platforms have a coaching component and they have a community or mastermind component or a membership component. So there are three ways that you can monetize your course. So one is through the course of when I talked about today when I was teaching earlier today. Shout out to the Business Connectivity Alliance powered by Thread Capital, to Tosh, Crystal, and Courtney. Shout out to you guys. But one of the things I shared today is that you're going to create an outline or a curriculum, if you will, for your course. And that curriculum and that outline, once you fill it in, becomes a PDF document, which becomes an ebook. So in addition to that, you can have a la carte coaching from your course, and you can have membership access to your courses. So people pay a monthly amount, or they pay a certain amount to gain access to certain information or certain parts of your content. So yes. So Shadana says, I always wanted to do a PR mastermind membership. Well, it's doable, sis. I can show you how. And that's exciting. And I think that would be huge for you, and you can monetize that. All right. So, because guys, the thing is too, you want to make your work for you. You want to make your knowledge begin to work for you. We have gotten to the place that we have the ability to work with ease. We should be working with ease, I feel, because we've put in the work. All right, so here, what you want to do next, or just still on the last one, after you've engaged and you've listened actively to your audience and what they need, is you want to incorporate that into a content creation process, showing that you value and respond to their needs. So what that looks like is, let's say one of the things you found that is a problem that your audience wants you to solve for them is maybe how to overcome shame. Let's say it's something emotional, how to overcome shame. So you could do an entire content challenge around shame, posting every day, like these are some ways that you can overcome, sharing your testimony. The Bible says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Having a let's get no more shame challenge, and issuing out challenges that people can walk through. You can share coaching, you can offer coaching, private coaching, or private Zoom, to have maybe a 5-day let's break shame challenge, but have it be private. And so there's so many things that you could kind of start thinking about, of ways that you can bless your audience, given a PDF document. Hey, here's a free download on 5 ways to overcome shame. You could do a book study, or what do you call it? A book club. One of the books I read by Pastor Christine Kane called Unashamed was so excellent. And I thought about doing that as a book study. So you could do a virtual book study, or even live on Facebook and have people join you. Or if you have a Facebook group. So there's so many things that you can do. Just get creative. I think one of the biggest things we all have to do as entrepreneurs is just to get out of our own way. I've seen a lot of my fellow business besties this week posting power posts about how they just got out of their own way and they just did it. And the manifestation of that has just been so incredible. Like God has just blown their mind, and it builds confidence. So that's that. All right. So number 4, you want to offer practical solutions and actionable insights. You want to offer practical solutions and actionable insights. So what does that look like? Identify the practical challenges that your audience faces and provide tangible solutions. So some of those tangible solutions I just shared were a free download, a coaching session, a group, a membership group, bringing them into your Facebook group, having an event, maybe a lunch and learn where you bring in a professional. It could be virtual or in person, but things that are actually going to give them tools, tips, tricks, and steps that they can actually apply to their life, that are practical, that are going to make an immediate impact or have a far reaching impact over time. You want to make sure that any complex concepts that you present, that you break those down into actionable steps that can be applied. And then you want to give real world examples and case studies to illustrate the application. I think one of the best things that we can ever do is to share ourselves, to share our experiences, to share our hearts. And I mean the good, the bad, and the ugly. So last year, short story, I love it too, Shadana. Thank you. Last year, short story, I hosted the Ratchet to Righteous retreat. The Ratchet to Righteous retreat was a retreat to help women who were ratchet to become righteous. I mean, there's just no other way to say it. And they weren't necessarily ratchet in the sense of like bound in sexual sin and perversion and things of that nature, but it was more in a state of despair, in a state of wretchedness, and just really hopelessness, and really wanting to break out and break forth, because I know that God has positioned me to help women do that. I know how to come out of hell. I know how to get out of hell and how to get to the other side and how to thrive in that. And so that said, I hosted that event. But leading up to that event, what my coach admonished me to do, and what the Lord admonished me to do, was to go live every week and to share. And so I shared my journey. I talked about my suicide attempt. I talked about abortion. I talked about divorce, my abortion attempt. I gave it all. I left it all on the table. And I wasn't ashamed of it, because I'm already forgiven. I'm already healed. I'm over it. When I say over it, I'm over the hump. I'm out of the depths of it, and I'm on the other side. And now I want to help women get there too. And so I think that there's so much power when we share those real things, but we have to share from a place of being whole and a place of being healed. And I believe, this is just my opinion, you can fight me on it if you want, I don't care, is that too often we try to present all the good stuff. We try to present the masked up version of ourselves and not the ugly part. And it's the ugly parts that actually help people. It's the ugly turned beautiful that helps people. Okay, so if Patrice went through that, if she tried to kill herself, but now I see her thriving, I see her on this other side, I wouldn't even look at her and know that she was just a mess and whoring around and cutting the fool. But now, maybe you can't believe it, I don't know. But now, if she was able to get through that, then maybe she can help me do that too. But you wouldn't know if I never shared. So anyway, that's not where I was going, but I think it's important that we think about practical application real world examples. If you're a business person and you went broke or you failed, I think about Pinky that owns Slutty Vegan, and she talks about her failure. She talks about the fact that her first business, one of her businesses, burnt down, and I don't remember what happened with the other, but she had a major comeback, as we know, and now she's set to be a millionaire and making multiple, businesses. She's thriving, has her own vegan meat, etc. But she shares her losses and her wins. So I think that we have to be that person that if you're not willing to do that, I'm thinking that sometimes it's going to be a little challenging for your clients to connect with you, because how can you really solve a problem if you don't express that you've ever had a problem? So moving on. All right. So number 5, last one, number 5 is adapt and evolve based on feedback. So Shadonna said, that's me, LOL. Okay, so which one is you? Tell me. I should have looked when I said what I said and then you responded. So tell me what you mean when you said that's me. So adapt and evolve based on feedback. What that means is have a plan, but hold it loosely as you're thinking about crafting courses and content that is aligned with your audience's needs and their wish list. And it's going to give you irresistible sales. Like, you're going to be irresistible to them. It's going to be like a magnet. And so with that, hold the plan loosely, meaning that as you get information, as they give you feedback, as you learn more about your client, because it's all about learning, you're going to adapt your offering, you're going to adapt your content, you're going to adapt your approach, and you're going to evolve and get better and better. I think about where I started and where I am now, and even where I'm going, has been such a major evolution. It's definitely been a learning curve. I'm still learning. So to do that, you want to establish a continuous feedback loop. That means you're constantly getting feedback, and you're taking that feedback and you're applying it, and you're creating better and better material, content, opportunities, etc. for your clients, because the goal is to solve their problem. The goal is to make them better. And then also be open to adapting your content based on changing needs and preferences. Oftentimes I see older businesses get stuck and trapped because they don't want to innovate. And if you don't innovate and you don't automate and you don't come forward, then you end up getting left behind. I'm not speaking that over you. I'm just saying in general. And so it's important that we focus on continuous quality improvement. That is an organizational management term. Shadonna, ratchet. Okay, yeah, you're in good company. Ratchet to righteous. Yeah, we're on the other side now. We're in the righteousness phase. Praise God. Okay, and then the last thing, you want to regularly update and refresh your course content to ensure that it remains relevant and valuable. So that's something I feel like I need to do with my coaching course, because I created it in 2019, but it's just such yummy information that really I feel all I need to update maybe are my videos. So you want to look at what you've created, and you want to think about its life cycle and when you need to freshen it up. Okay. And I just want to tell you that by incorporating some of these strategies, or thinking through these 5 strategies that I've shared into your content creation process towards course development and trying to reach your ideal audience, you'll better position yourself to create courses that really resonate with what they need. And it will foster engagement. And I agree with that. It'll foster long-term success. So I want to challenge you. I'm going to give you a challenge. If you're watching this with me now, I want you to say, hey, I accept the challenge, because we ain't got no quitters over here. So just put I accept in the comments. I accept the challenge. If you're watching this in the replay, put I accept the challenge. My challenge to you this week is to, 1, think about what you can package your expertise into. What type of course do you want to create? So that's number 1. My challenge is, yay, Shadonna, awesome. I love it. So challenge 1 is, what course would you create? And then 2 is find out from your audience if that's what they need, or what is it that they want. So challenge 2 is, maybe I should do these opposite, but you'll figure it out, is ask your audience, what do they need? Hey, I'm thinking about creating a course on X. Does this resonate with you? Or what do you want from me? What would you like to see from me in terms of a course? What type of course would resonate with you? And give me feedback. What type of problem could you solve for them? So poll your audience. So that's your next challenge, is to poll your audience and ask them what they need and what they want from you in terms of a course. And so I want you to let me know. And so it could be in terms of a course, it could be in terms of coaching, a mastermind. So it doesn't just have to be coaching, course, mastermind, or I think that's good. Coaching course or mastermind. And I want to know, like, I want to hear back from you. What did they say? What was some of the response that you received? And so I think that would be a great first place to start. So that's my challenge. So challenge 1, what course would you create? And challenge number 2, poll your audience and ask them what they need and what they want from you in terms of a course, coaching, or mastermind. Shadana, I think you're going to get some really great feedback and responses because you have so much to offer and so much to give in terms of knowledge. So guys, any questions you have, let me know. You can ask me now, or you can just, respond here in the comments, or you can always DM me on Facebook. But I want to tell you how you can work with me. So how you can work with me is I offer signature mentoring in terms of digital course creation, mentorship. So I have a done with you product where I will work with you for 8 weeks to develop your online school and course. I have a done for you product where I will build your online course, one course, and your school for you. Within each of those contexts, we also establish your coaching program within that platform, that course platform, and we also set up your membership if that is an option. So it really depends on which membership platform you go with and what is available, but that is what we do. Okay, so if you're interested in learning more about that, you can schedule an appointment with me. I have placed my, you're welcome, Shadana. I have placed my scheduling link in the comments. You can schedule me at www.patricecarter.com, and we can have a conversation. I offer a free complimentary call to sort of flesh out what it is that you need and to see if we're a good fit. The next thing I want to do is I want to invite you to join me for my upcoming paid webinar, and that is happening March 3rd from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And it is entitled Authors Craft Your Course in a Day. So you don't necessarily have to be an author, but if you're someone who wants to craft your online course, you want to be in the room. It is the best $47 in 2 hours that you'll spend in 2024 because you are going to leave with a fully fleshed out outline of your first course. And this is really great for those of you that are DIYers and maybe you already have a platform, maybe you already joined like Teachable or Kajabi or Udemy, etc., but you didn't really know how to start because you don't know how to write a curriculum or how to write a course. That is what you're going to leave with. We're going to craft your course. So that event link is in the comments also. And that is all I have. So until then, I just want you to know that I remain excited and passionate about women, empowering women to achieve success and well-being through the transformative power of digital course creation. So thank you so much for joining me today. Remember that your expertise is a gold mine waiting to be shared, and I want you to trust in your ability to create. You can do it. All right. So guys, thank you so much. Shadana, thanks for hanging out with me. God bless you. God bless each of you. And I'll see you next time. Okay. So under my events on Facebook or LinkedIn, you can find out when I'm going to go live again, which is typically every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Also on YouTube. So if there are some not comments, I can't talk. If there are some topics that you want me to discuss as a course creation mentor, digital course mentor, online school mentor, please DM me or just post them in the thread, and I'm happy to do that. So I really want to know or be able to speak to what it is that you need as a potential course creator or someone who's already creating courses. Maybe you have questions about how to monetize it or how to grow it, but I would love to help. All right. God bless you guys. Shadana, thank you so much. Praise God. Have a great night, Shadana, and everyone else. Okay, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. It was an amazing experience for me as well. Take care.